David, thanks for being with us today. I have so many questions for you. First of all, we've seen infections on cruise lines. We've seen death. We've seen people stranded at sea for weeks. So why in the world would anyone want to get on a cruise right now? In fact, let me tell you what Anthony Fauci said. I'm going to read it for you. He said people on large ship all together at the same time, all the time, you couldn't ask for a better incubator for infection.
Right. I saw that quote, and the cruise lines definitely became essentially the poster child for this virus, right? And so they're going to have to work really hard to give guests the confidence to get back on board their ships. And they've already started that outreach effort. Some cruise lines have already released some very stringent policies and procedures that are going to be in place to keep everybody on board healthy, crew and passengers.
David, let's talk about some of those procedures. What steps should cruise lines be taking to win back the confidence of really shaken passengers?
Sure, the cruise lines are going to be taking a number of very stringent steps, not only in the terminal before people board, but also on board the ship. So they're going to be using thermal scanners to take temperatures. They're going to be requiring passengers to complete a health declaration and not to lie on that health declaration. They'll have to say if they've been sick within the last few days or in contact with someone else who's been sick. They're going to have medical personnel in the terminals to give people secondary inspections. And even by then, by the time the cruise lines start operation again, which will probably be sometime in the fall, there may be some kind of a rapid response COVID-19 test that they may give right at the pier. So those are going to be precautions that they'll take even before anybody gets on board, and that's crew and passengers both.
The people who love taking cruises are very, very loyal, devout passengers. And what is it about the cruise that attracts so many people? In fact, all this health crisis was going on at the peak of this COVID-19 outbreak, and people were still buying tickets to get on cruise lines.
Yeah, it's true. Cruise veterans are really a loyal bunch, and it's really because cruising is a great vacation. It's not only a great value, but you can kind of turn your mind off on a cruise. Everything is there for you: the food, the entertainment, the shows. The service is great, so people love it for that reason, and I really believe it's the best vacation value for people's dollar.
Well, what about the crowds, David? I mean, everyone is crammed together, standing shoulder to shoulder in the restaurants, in the bars, on the dance floors, in the swimming pool. How do you exactly practice social distancing, if you will, in those kinds of situations?
So I've already seen some plans for that some cruise lines have put out. And they include maybe only booking the ships for now at half capacity. So let's say it's a 2,000 passenger ship, they may only book 1,000 passengers. They'll keep seats open in the theater, so there's seating in between. Shore excursions, buses will have people maybe seated only every 3 rows. In the dining rooms, they'll have people spaced out just as they will in restaurants on land. So,
wow.
So most of the same doctrines that we're seeing imposed as states in the U.S. start to open up their restaurants and their entertainment facilities, we're going to see those on cruise ships. People will be socially distanced. And crew, by the way, frontline crew, will be wearing masks and, in some cases, gloves.
And what about the passengers?
They'll probably require the passengers to wear masks at first anyway, and they'll see how that goes. But, in the dining room, it's going to be something completely different. Cruising is going to look very different than it's looked before for passengers, certainly. But I think people who will feel good knowing that they'll have the confidence to get aboard if the cruise line is doing everything they can to keep them and the crew healthy.
We'll leave it there. David Yeskel, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.